Why not? Welcome to the last rites. No idea what this is. I don't even know what day it is. I can't remember. I think it might be Wednesday. I think it's Wednesday, the 22nd of February. I don't like knowing what day it is. Okay. Anyway, child ISIS bride Shamima Begum, not allowed to live in the UK. Well, be a British citizen. Currently in prison in Syria. Doesn't really matter. Lost a challenge today to deprive her of British citizenship despite a credible case. She was trafficked. Of course, she was 15 years old when she was, groomed, trafficked, then raped, had loads of kids. By the time she was 19, 3 of them died, but was an enforcer for ISIS. So also, brainwashed, but should probably have a bit of responsibility because did, walk around with a Kalashnikov enforcing women's rules during the great caliphate of the late naughty teens. I don't even know how to describe naughty teens. Anyway, she's not allowed to be a citizen. And of course, all the mega flag shaggers will be like, good, keep her out of here, you fucking terrorist. And, people with a bit more compassion might go, well, she was a child when she was raped, groomed, and trafficked and brainwashed and all that stuff. But there's probably, there's probably something in the middle of that. Can't be bothered to read all this. But, not allowed in. Troubled findings. There's been lots of problems with the case, of course. People concerned, but ultimately deemed too dangerous to let back in. I don't know. I mean, did she have sex with dynamite? Is she going to give birth to dynamite baby? She's had 5. I don't know. But she was, grooming victim, really, isn't it? But a little bit complicated. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I was thinking about an ISIS bride sitcom. People call her the child bride, though, so I'm not really mocking that. But or the Office Caliphate edition, where you sort of get this. How do you even become a child bride of ISIS? Is it sort of romance over a long period of time, or 2 seasons, and you finally get fully groomed in the Christmas special? I don't know. Would they even be a Christmas special? Would there? I don't know whether there would be a Christmas special. No turkey for Shamima, I think, but just some terrorist cock. Come on, open your cock. Good morning, welcome. Come down, have some breakfast. We'll open the terrorist cock. There's 3 babies. They are going to die by the time you're 19, but happy festivities, I guess. Would that be what would happen around there? But yeah, obviously some messed up stuff happened, but the feeling is she's nasty enough to be kept incarcerated in Syria, so it's not even that deep a thought, really. I think just leave her in prison in Syria and sorry you can't come back. But yeah, there has to remain some empathy, right? Because she was a child when she was taken over there. But now I'm just thinking about that terrorist cock. I don't know. I wonder if Mannouranth, what kind of ISIS bride she would be. I guess we'll find out. I guess we'll maybe do something with that. But I think I've lasted a whole 4 minutes of the topic that I was going to talk about, which is good. I think it's good. It's good to retain some kind of focus. And I haven't said a word to anyone all day. In fact, I've done nothing apart from cook sausages and make plans, make very regimented plans, not to join ISIS. I am not planning to join ISIS. I'm not going to be not a child, but not even an ISIS bride or an ISIS. Were there ISIS husbands? Did any ISIS husbands get groomed? Either child ones or adult ones just go out and thought, we'll have some of those big fat terror tits to be with, and we can, while we're with them, we might do some terrorism as well. We might plan, a shopping centre bomb or something like that. With the terror husbands, you really hear about terrorist ISIS brides. Undoubtedly, there were ISIS gay couples and lesbian. Undoubtedly that was going on, but probably hidden as well. I think probably not on the official local apps on the scene. Do you think they had their own dating app as well in terror camps? That's how Facebook started at a university, right? Do you think that terror camps had their own sort of early version of Facebook? I don't know. She looks. Well, I don't know yet, but she probably looks nice and. Yeah, I don't know. It's just the phrase terror cock is just on my mind now. I don't know why. Thinking about it. If I could suck on a big terrorist cock, maybe I would go, yeah, I'll enforce whatever you want me to enforce. Whatever. I don't really agree with it, but I'll do it. I'm here now. It's like getting a job you're not really into. My first job was washing the blood off of things for £2 an hour. And I wasn't really into the job. Although I got good at it. I got pretty good at cleaning that blood. To this day, when if I need to do dishes and stuff, I'm pretty good at it. I'm pretty, everything's clean. Everything gets done efficiently. I'm not getting oil over stuff. It's good to this day. So I think if I did go to a terror camp, I'd be good at that as well. I don't know. I'm not legitimately thinking of joining a terror camp. I think ISIS have kind of had their day, haven't they? They'll probably come back as something else, because Al Qaeda used to be the cool one. They were the really cool terrorists for a while, and then we ended up fighting alongside them in Iraq, and then ISIS were the bad ones, and they were way cooler than Al Qaeda. ISIS had full media production. I remember watching their videos, just sit and watch their videos, and they'd have like flashy titles and editing and professional music and all this stuff. They must have had studios. That's why I thought, why not open up a brand of like Comedy Central for terrorists, where you just have, various horrific terror events and planning, but hilarity ensues somehow. I think that might be an offshoot of that media outlet. That's what I would have done had I been in control of it, but I wasn't. I just watched the videos and I liked them. I got to say, I did like the ISIS videos. They're great music, great production values. Said some of the scenes were a bit rough to watch, but yeah, Terrorcock. What do you think? What do you think about Terrorcock? What do you think about Shamima Begum? I don't even know how to say her name. I just keep thinking of Begum, like she's from Yorkshire or something. Might have been from down the road. Can't remember exactly where from. Not even gonna research that fact. But yeah, I'll stop sharing that now because I'll just stop sharing that now. I think 7 minutes in. I'll go for about 10 minutes today. Other news, I don't think that. I mean, Joe Biden's been in Ukraine and Poland, and Putin's done some weird, very weird speech. Going, I've still got some nuclear weapons. Saying, yeah, so has everyone else. You're big bald fanny. Nobody cares. Liverpool got absolutely smashed in the Champions League last night, which is hilarious because we all like seeing Jurgen Klopp angry. Used to be fun, Jurgen Klopp, didn't he? Around about 2005. Used to be, was it 05, maybe 09? I don't know. When were Dortmund in the Champions League final? I was in London that day with some Dortmund fans, actually, in Soho. Bayern Munich had part of London severed off, and Borussia Dortmund had the other half. So you had Reds and the Yellows. And I drank with some Yellows in a Soho pub. It was a fun day. Who knows when it was? I don't know when it was. So there you go. You got 3 little bits of updates. No, not really. Like 1 second of Ukraine, 17.3 seconds of Liverpool in the Champions League, and Jurgen Klopp's past hilarity. But the Terror Bride was the main thing for today. I like these short ones. Let's keep them short. Let's keep it short, I think. Now all I can think about is, what would my terror organization do? Obviously, you'd have social media accounts, right? But you've got to keep them away from like anonymous or whatever. But what would you do to get your message across? I think you've got to have a multimedia empire. I think you've got to have comedies. You've got to have terrorists on there doing TikTok dances. If TikTok ban you, then you just set up your own TikTok and your own version of YouTube. And I'm sure they did. But I think basically a self-fulfilling media node with terror. I think that would be what I would do. Would I set one up? And I would not. I want to make that clear. I've got no plans of being a terrorist. That sounds like you're just going to die at some point or go to prison, and that sounds awful. Also lazy. Yeah, I've walked 3,235 steps today, and that's around this flat and over the road to the shop and back. I don't want to be hiking through mountains, running away from people trying to kill me while I'm making terror. That sounds like a lot of work. We should at least respect them for the amount of work they put in. If they go the full hold, obviously, you have to wake up and make a pressure cooker bomb and let it off outside Sainsbury's or something. That's, it's still a lot of work. It's respectable, but there's no physical labor. I guess just mental, just a bit of soldering and all that stuff. Didn't really know where I was going with it, but I just thought of them pressure cooker. But the terrorist cock in my mind, I can see how it would have been enticing to a young brainwashed groomed child bride in somewhere from the UK. I don't know, but I could. There was probably a time where I could have been recruited into something nefarious. There was probably a time where I felt disenfranchised. It wouldn't have been a religious thing. I still think I could join a cult, like what's his face with the Oregon cult from the 80s. There's the Bhagwan. I think I could still join that cult. I think it's still going in India. You can get there. I read an article where a journalist went there and just basically did yoga and probably got fingered by some sprigs. All I can think of is sprigs of rosemary and thyme. Don't know if that grows in India. Haven't researched it. But just in some floral gardens, with a little bit of fountain going on, but everyone's sweating a bit. That whatever that cult is still going, and I would go. In fact, I might go. It doesn't sound that bad. It got bad in America when they got guns and started blowing up, the courthouse and all the rest of it. But I think as an ideology, it's not a bad one to join. So I could definitely see myself getting into a cult or creating one. That would be a good thing to do, Jamie. And eventually, I think via Craig and people who've obviously thought of Swinetology. That's a good name. And I have invented a cult before. I've got the framework all ready to go. Not implemented, just thought it out. But I think there is room to think it out. I think we'll have to get together at some point. Anyway, don't worry about all that. It's Wednesday. 3 days until I finally have some alcohol. I might have a couple on Friday just to ease in, as I've discussed before. I have had nearly 3 weeks with no booze. Let's check booze accountability. Has there been 53 days of this year? Is it 53? We have had, I've got to wait for the summary tab on the Excel or the Google Doc of my 52 days, 45 days sober, 86.54% of the year, no fucking booze. I like it. There will be a few nights coming up where I'm drinking a little bit. There will be probably at least 3 coming up in the next week and a half where I'm hammered, and they're going to be fun. But that'll start bringing the percentage down. But I'm already way above target, so come back to a couple of beers in Manchester and I'll be good. I can't remember what the point of that was when I started that, but I don't think there really needs to be a point. I've just talked about terror cock for 10 minutes and then this. I'm not going to show you the spreadsheet today. I might make a big pie chart at the end of the year so you can see how little, hopefully, I've drunk, and that hopefully wouldn't have got fat or developed some sort of skag habit. So I haven't become a heroin addict or a meth head. That could all, but I don't want to be beholden to a thing. I need to drink or smoke. I don't want to be beholden to a thing. Water, food, and sleep. Right, that's what I want to need, and then have some other stuff to have some fun with. The devil's in me. I got the devil in me. I have. So I don't want to drink that often, but it's fun. I like it, and I like booze. So I don't think I'm ready to go teetotal just yet in my life. Oh, there's some people here. Hey, OGM, how you doing? Callum Gaddafi, you're named after a dictator. You're joining a cult, Caitlin. How you doing? I might create one. I'm thinking I would do that Indian one. What is Caitlin? Minutes for next time. Tell me what that's called. It's the one with the Bhagwan, the Indian cult that went to Oregon in the early 80s. There was a documentary called Wild Wild Country, and that all ended as a disaster. And they got their own police force and were blowing up the courthouse and all that, and they fled. He died, but the cult's still going, and it's in India. And it's basically just about yoga and getting sweaty and farming your own stuff and shagging everyone. For Americans, that should be translated as a bit of the old in, out, in, out, in, out, and in again. Get out. Applications, what, for the Colt? I think you just go. I think maybe you have to book. Well, I would have disappeared without even looking at I didn't even look at the StreamYard screen today. I just had the fucking article up while I was talking about terrorist cock, and then came back here. So okay, I'll sit here for a minute with my little water and I'll see what's going on. Next Tuesday is the day I will go to Katz's. It's the day I will go to Katz's Deli. So I'm becoming more 1940s movie Cockney as I talk to more Americans. So the day I go on Tuesday, is going to be Katz's Deli Day. I think that's the day to go. About 2 or 3 p.m. Get myself a $25 sandwich, which is basically what it's going to be, plus tips. And then I'm going to spend 2 hours just trying to eat as much as possible, having put some Imodium cork up there. And if it's too much, I'll take half home for the post-comedy thing, sandwich room, hotel. It'll just get warm in the hotel. There probably won't be a fridge in there. And it'll just be water. And I'll have a warm one when I get home that's probably got bed bugs on it and whatever else you get in New York. I don't know. Holograms or terror attacks. Probably popular. Oh, Jesus. Thank you. Caitlin, this is unreal. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure out a way of paying you. This is unreal. Thank you. Yeah, she was in Dublin until yesterday, and it's actually her birthday today. Let me start with that. That's a great in, isn't it? Happy birthday. Yeah. And when she comes back to me and goes, thank you, I'm going to go, yeah, no worries. Send some fucking pictures. You lazy bitch. Thank you, Caitlin. All the way from New Jersey, helping out with the planning. Good stuff. I still don't know when I'm coming back to the UK though, because I'm due to come back on the 8th, and I kind of want to come back on the 6th. So I'm going to have to look into that flight stuff, see what I can do to change it tonight, maybe. See if it's not too expensive to change. I'm hoping it's free to change. I've already made one change, and I've got some credit in the bank. I'm hoping it's free. But I do need to look into some more of that travel shit tonight as well. After this, it's only like 4:30 p.m. here, so I'll have time. OGM, are you streaming today? Are you streaming right now? You seem to always have a million every Twitch stream we're going to. You seem to be in there. I haven't really been on Twitch today. What's going on there? Who's on? Benson P, the Egg and I. Dave's Not Hot. Is Dave's Not Hot the squirrels and stuff? Let me check out more squirrels. Yeah. Yeah, I'll try and catch up. If anyone's streaming later, I'll try and catch up with what you're doing. Because just doing some organizing tonight. I'm trying to do some writing, I'm doing some functional writing, like moving shit around and all that, but I don't know. Maybe I should write some stuff about child brides. Maybe that'll go well. Phenomenal. Listen, whatever. A big shout out to whatever university Caitlin went for event planning. Was that the masters that you studied over in London as well? Because it's working. Basically, that was the most useful message that was the most useful piece of help I've had in years. Because I would have completely forgotten until another 2 weeks away. And really, I want to be getting on with that in the next week or so. Still trying to find a gig. Can I move somewhere like Jersey and set your own one up? I'd suggest. I don't know, or go to and don't post about it. Don't post about it, because you know what'll happen. You know what'll happen, right? Nerds will fucking start messaging people. It's called the Rajneesh cult. I haven't done that many gigs in a while, actually. The Rajneesh cult. There we go. Thank you. Yeah. Go look up the Rajneesh cult and work out how to get there. Apparently, it's a real ball ache to get there. It's like fucking tons of buses into the middle of nowhere. There was a journalist, female journalist, that went there to research and get fingered in the floral garden. So look up that article as well. It's fascinating. But I would definitely, as cults go, most core of most cults are pretty good, right? It's always becomes what happens when people get into power, positions of power, and little weird political stuff starts happening. That's when the fucking branding starts. People start going, well, I'm going to stick a poker up your ass because you haven't grown enough onions this year and I want all the onions. I don't know. We'll sort out payment. I don't know. I want drugs off you, but you're going to have to stick them on a train up to New York. And it'd be like a spy movie. I'd just have to jump on a train at whatever station it is. It's up near the park somewhere, isn't it? Whatever station it is that comes in, and I have to jump on it, reach under a seat and pull off the gummy and jump off. That'll be the plan. The Jonestown was about 8% special needs. I didn't know that. I know there's a cool song that they sung. There's a song of all the kids singing, like, welcome all of you. And then they died after drinking the Kool-Aid. But, yeah, they're a bit nutbag. I think this is more... Because the community in that documentary, the community that they were building looked really nice as well. They had this farmland and they were growing. Everything was nice and fresh and they all had jobs. They don't need money and all that stuff. It only started to get out of hand when the second in command, Sheila, I think her name was, started getting paranoid and trying to take over. And then they were getting guns because some of the locals were coming onto the farm and all that stuff. In the end, they had an army and they were doing domestic terrorism and had their own police force and all that shit. So they had to go. The FBI had to move in. Was it the DEA? I don't know. People moved in anyway and got them out of it. But I wasn't against the idea of that cult. Special people, yeah. Well, it's weird how these like Nexium and stuff got really like high-powered business people and all that, intelligent people in. And they're just fucking nuts. I need to finish the second season of The Vow. Is it about the Nexium one? His niece was the largest biologist in the US poisoned. That's right. I forgot it ended because they poisoned the food plant, right? I forgot that. Largest wild top operation. And did you know the largest domestic terrorism against or espionage against the US government was Scientology? They infiltrated all the entire government, I think in the 70s. They got so many people into the heart of all different areas of government. It's fucking wild. I'm going down a Scientology rabbit hole now. There's a podcast called Blown for Goods, and it's all, can't remember what the other one's called, but they get three of them together. A couple of them grew up in Scientology. One to join when he was 18. It was like the second in command, Mike Rinder, and they're doing podcasts now every Monday together. And they Scientology are now coming after them, but they've got spies inside Scientology. It's fucking great. It's great to watch. And we've got a Scientology church here about 5 minutes away. So when Jamie comes up to visit, we're going to go up there and see if we can't rattle the door to get them open, or at least maybe dress up in robes out the front or something and invite people in for an e-meter reading, and seeing what they do. So that might be fun. Yeah, I completely forgot about the food stuff. Very interesting. Yeah, I like it. I like hearing about a good cult as well, I might try and watch the rest of the Vow season 2 tonight. Although I'm finding it a bit less good than the first season, and apparently one of the girls that can't. The first season had this woman in it, and her daughter was still in. She was trying to get her out, and there's another documentary from the girl's perspective, I think, as well, from another channel. I don't know if it's Hulu or something. Yeah, Ron Miscavige, right? Yeah, he's got a couple of good interviews out there. But there's a lot more coming out now, and there's a lot more shit. They're trying to serve Miscavige with papers. Basically, there's all kinds of like trafficking and fraud and all kinds of shit that's going on that they've basically evidenced Scientology to do, but it's just hard to pin them down. They'll go eventually. They're losing members all the time. They're just buying more buildings, but there's less and less people in it. Did he plan it, or was it that Sheila? So it's the cult, right? Because the documentary seemed to suggest that it was the woman that was kind of rising to power, and she was doing all this crazy shit, and the bag one just wanted to get pussy and fucking drive around in his 50 limos or whatever it was, as far as I could see. Right, but she was a manipulative lady. Flemmer was a religious cult. She went to camp in Texas high school. Now it's like, oh, interesting. I saw one about the fundamentalist Latter-day Saints as well. Is that hardcore Mormons? Basically, they were just fucking kids. The guy was just marrying everyone, including people's daughters, like 13-year-old kids, and just fucking them all. And the dads was going, sure, have my child. It's what we believe. That was pretty horrendous. Can't remember that guy's name. Yeah, I had a friend here that grew up in a some weird offshoot of Christianity cult commune thing as well. I think they left when she was like 6 or 7 or something like that, maybe a bit older. Yeah, maybe a little bit older. But yeah, she didn't say too much about it, just that they got out at some point. Yeah, that was wild. That was a wild one. Warren something, yeah, could be, yeah. Now it's going to bug me. Is it fundamentalist Latter-day Saints? I might just be getting Warren Jeffs. No, you're spot on. Keep sweet, pray and obey. That's right, and they're getting them to sing the creepy song. Motherfuckers. It's always, no matter how good it is, it's always about getting as much pussy as you can, right? It's always, every single time, the guy at the top is fucking everyone's wives. Okay. But that one was bad because he was obviously also fucking kids and demanding that people just give your daughter to me. I need a new wife. I need the 28th wife of September to come to my chambers. Dirty old fuck. Keep sweet, pray and obey. Thank you, Caitlin. Yeah, I did. To Google just told me that as well. But it's you get the drugs. I got to go in a minute. I've got 3 sausages in a cup. I need to put in the fridge. Don't ask. It's been a day of hilarity. Saturday, 6 o'clock UK, 1 p.m. Eastern time on YouTube. Me and Jamie will be doing a Dusk Till Dawn watch along. You got to queue the movie up yourself because we can't play it on YouTube. But we're going to hang out, watch it, get drunk, talk shit, and then we're going to switch to Twitch straight after. So it'll be Saturday afternoon for Americans, and we will continue into the night until Jamie gets taken to bed by his wife. When he starts just being able to say things like "fuck you in the ass," "fucking Jamie, come to bed." That's probably how it'll end. And then when he goes to bed, I'm going to stay on until I fall asleep. I have got to travel to London the next day, but I'm going to stay on, and maybe Mannouranth will stay on, and it'll get weird. That says YouTube and then Twitch, but starting at 6 o'clock UK time on Saturday. Oh, you're just Googling it now? Oh, you didn't know until you watched the documentary. So when I saw the documentary, Wild Wild Country, I'd never heard of it yet, and how big they got and how crazy it fucking got. I think it was Oregon. I think it was on that coast near Andrist. Near Andy Andrist. But yeah, I remember watching it thinking, how did no? Because I know it's a long time ago. It's the early 80s, but these things stay around, don't they? Even Waco was 30 years ago now, but That's still around. So we all know about Waco. You know about Jonestown. Where the fuck was this cult in the zeitgeist? Yeah, 1 p.m. Eastern, so 1 p.m. for you. So that we're going to do it on YouTube. We're going to be hanging out for a couple of hours, or just under, I guess, and then we'll switch to Twitch. It'll be me and Jamie Dykes. We're going to put the feelers out if Brett Brock wants to come on as well. He's got a lot to do at the moment, though, so I'm not sure. Shout out Husky Boyer. I'm not sure if that'll happen, but basically we're going to get fucking hammered. The Sin City one we were going to do on the 25th of March, but I might kick that back a week to the 1st of April because I was talking to Andy Baker, Hack Oddity, last night, and we're going to try and aim to do something on the 25th weekend, but it will involve some kind of podcasting. So, but we will also be getting drunk together and becoming a very big mess together, probably here. But if he does come up, we'll do a podcast. We'll go out and we'll probably come back and get weird afterwards as well. So that'll be the 25th. But there'll be lots more stuff other than me just sat in a chair talking shit coming up as well. Oh, you'd never seen it yet? Look it up. It's called Wild Wild Country on it was on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on or isn't on Netflix. You'll come on, Callum. Well, yeah, we can talk about it. There might be a conflict of interest. We can talk about it. Move to get Duolingo, Callum, right? Because I'm learning Portuguese at the moment. I'm doing pretty well, and I've been learning it on and off for years anyway. But get make sure there's no weird. Get the Duolingo app, right? Learn Spanish and move to Spain, I reckon, and just do comedy in Spain. I did actually meet. Look at the little fucking. I'm currently 4th in the Sapphire League, and it's no joke. It's no joke. Believe me, when these cunts start waking up, they're gonna start kicking me down that league. They're already online now. It's gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad, but it's addictive, and I am learning. I did meet a guy in Edinburgh last year at the festival. I think he lives in Barcelona. He's a Scottish guy, but he lives in Barca. So there must be expat, like English-speaking comedy out there. I assume he's not doing it in Spanish. Didn't strike me as a guy who was learning that much Spanish beyond beer. Where's the fucking beer, please? But he was a good guy. Stuart Kennedy, his name was. I'll look out for him this year. But yeah, I've got a lot. Don't get me fucking started on admin for comedy, for fuck's sake. Such a ball ache. And then, so yeah, I might be in Long Island on Saturday, March 4th. New York, possibly at this Jackie Martin thing, but I don't know. That's an unknown because I don't know exactly where I'm going to be that day. I think it's at Governor's Comedy Club. I don't fucking know. But apart from that, I'll be hurtling around the city, trying to get on about 5 different shows next week, which is just in a few days. So that'll be fun. In between mopping up bits of blood out my ass. Oh, spotty. Oh, lumpy. Why didn't that Imodium work? Because you ate a fucking pastrami sandwich like that. That's why. Might not be that bad, actually. It might not be that bad. I think because it's not that much bread, is it? It's just that much meat and this much bread, and it's the bread that will give me the problem. The meat, I'll deal with. The system will deal with the meat. It might stink, it might come out black, but it's not going to be bleeding. The bread is but it's rye bread. I don't know whether I have a reaction to that. I don't know. Regular bread that I get here in the UK fucks me up. I can't eat it. Like half a slice, and I'm done. You're learning Spanish, Kelly. Yeah, but it takes forever. I've been learning Portuguese for 9 years. Just bits and bobs here and there, but I've only really sat down on it every day on 2 occasions, and this is one of them. I've been doing it every day for 2 weeks. But I also text in Portuguese every day. I speak, I send voice messages in Portuguese most days. No, it was a half joke, Alan, but honestly, mate, go and fucking have a look. Edinburgh, yes, it's one of my favourite cities. During the festival, it's because in August it's just an arts festival from the 1st to the 30th. The whole city's taken over. There's a lot of comedy there. I love it. But last year it was like really hot, and I remember sweating around. I don't know, I had a bit of a breakdown. Everyone has a bit of a breakdown. I was only there a few days as well, and this year I intend to be there longer, but it's expensive. It's fucking. You've got to get a lot of you together to try and book a place, and I'll have to get that sorted in the next 6 weeks, really. Otherwise, I won't get a place. But the city is beautiful. I like the Gothic stuff, the monument, the park's great, the castle. See that. I've never been up Arthur's Seat, but it's a nice area to be. To go and hang out, Calton Hill, and then the old part of town up by the Royal Mile and stuff. Tons of good bars. And it's a cool city. It's pretty small as well, so you can walk right around it in no time at all. Haymarket's nice. We did some gigs there at the Beehive for the Drunken Heckle last year, and that's where people are allowed to heckle you if they have a paddle. So that was fun. That started at midnight as well, so it was a fun one to do. But I think I saw him tweet the other day, the guy that runs that. So if I'm up there and if I can get what I'm working on together, then I'll be doing some of that stuff as well, like random little stuff, maybe at Run Comedy and at Drunken Heckle. It's a long way away, but I love Edinburgh. Yeah, I'm a lot nearer to it now. Oh yeah, that's a shame. And sometimes up there the weather's a real problem as well, right? It could be pissing with rain at any time. But if I go up there for a couple of weeks, which I might do this year, I'll definitely get up. I'll find a day where I just get up early, and just smash it up there and down. It's not that bad apparently. Figure it out. It did an underground Black Plague tour, which is interesting. That's good. Yeah, I'm looking at some underground tours here as well. One of them says you've got to bring waders, so I don't know how far into water you get, but there's definitely a tunnel system around here. So I'll get into that. I've not done any of those tours up in Edinburgh, but there's a lot of historical stuff up there. I was a fan of the detective series, the Rebus novel, so I've always find like Flesh Market Close where there was a murder and hookers getting killed around Edinburgh, and it's a really descriptive book series, so he always talks about real locations really well. I like all that stuff, but I've not read any for a while. But I've been to Edinburgh probably 6 or 7 times, something like that. And I never get bored of it really. I get tired, especially if it's comedy stuff, but because that's just battling off a hangover, walking 15 miles a day and then trying to jump on gigs and general mania whilst money is pissing out of your pocket. I will tell you. I mean, probably if I want to fly, I'm probably a 30-minute flight. 200 miles. 220 miles. So I can be there in under 4 hours, basically. There I am. And I think if I can get a flight, it'll be like 30 minutes, probably something like that, 40 minutes. Pretty cool. I'm across the other side of the country, but it's narrow. The more north you get, so you just got to go across. I like my penis. Huh? Right, I'm going to do 5 more minutes and then I've got to go and do some stuff. We'll get some softs on. around the year. Yeah, so a lot closer in the world, but it's never been that far. It's always been like an hour's flight, or I got a train which fucked me up last year. It just kept breaking down, and I didn't get there till midnight, and I upset someone and missed a gig and all that stuff. So, given that I'm nearer though, I could get a trip, but I'll probably fly because I'm really close to the airport now as well. So as long as I get it in advance, I can get a cheap ticket. But I need to organise all that soon. So hopefully in the next sort of 6-7 weeks, I'll know for sure about having that a venue, find a venue up there as well. But I needed Caitlin's minutes reminder to start that part of it as well. But the initial part is for something else, which I will talk about more over the next couple of months. It should be a busy year, fun year. What I'm hoping for America is to come out with a few little mini sets that I've jumped on mics or something, because I need to just get some feet under me, because with the move and Christmas and everything, I just haven't done what I wanted to do. So that'll give me some momentum to come back with, I think. But it should be fun anyway, and hopefully meet some people that aren't shits. The general hate comedians. The Scottish Highlands, no, I've only ever been to Edinburgh. I've not even been to Glasgow. Never been north of there, but I would like to go. I've got a friend that lives on the Isle of Skye, so that's right at the top. You got to get a little plane or a boat to get across. It's just he's got has he got penguins? Not penguins. He's got I don't know. There's animals. There's whales and stuff, like killer whales or blue whale. I don't know. There's big fish, big mammals, even off by his house. So he goes to the water by his house and takes pictures and puffins and all that shit. He's got loads of land around there. But I used to work with him years ago, and he moved up there. He just quit. He's moved up there to work at a little school. But he just lives on this fucking little island. Videos, no, not yet. There's a couple of clips knocking around, but then they're not good. It's just at the end, in a few months I will. And I'm trying to get one sorted out for festival submission, so I need something better, just in terms of how it looks and sounds as well. But yeah, I've been a bit reluctant on that for lots of reasons, but I will have a lot of footage by September, like a lot, and I'll just decide what to do about that. So there might be some clips, there might be bits and bobs being put up, there might be something more complete, I don't know. But there will be a lot more coming out this year, particularly from the summer and the autumn, I think. At least little bits and bobs. But yeah, it's just, I was always a bit reluctant to put stuff out because a lot of people go out, do a couple of sets, and then put everything up. And I said, why are you doing that? Because it's going to be there forever. And then, other people will see it and go, well, no, I don't quite like that. Yeah, because you weren't very good. But I'm just trying to build longer sets right now. So there'll probably be a lot of video that comes out the next few months, and it's going to go. It's already March. The year's going to fucking fall out of the arse of life in seconds, and it'll be Christmas again. So and then I'll be dead. So I need to hurry up getting shit done, which is partly, what I am working on. But the reconnaissance to the US will happen in 4 days, which is kind of related. But it's mainly about food for me. The most exciting thing for me is food that might make me bleed, and that's all I can. That's all I can really hope for is food that might make me bleed, and some drugs. Well, am I getting high one day? Escape the clutch of the snuggling dog. Congratulations, Chrissy. Congratulations. I tell you what, if you give me 2 minutes. Give me 2 minutes, and I'll come back for another few because I was about to leave. I don't even like that little back soon thing. Let me mute that. Not even 2 minutes. Not even 2 minutes. But yeah, I haven't got too much more to say. Chrissy, bad timing again. I've been trying to leave for 45 minutes, but then these 5-minute takers came in and we talked about Colts for a little while. Trying to keep these fairly topical, but I was busy today again, and I've got to figure out times when I'm not as busy. But I hope you're well over there in Copenhagen. No, so I think there's been about 3 times where Chris has come in and I've just left immediately. You're off the weed right now. Had a bad experience. Was that something to do with the hose? Were you hosing off your new device? That sounds fun. Have you been streaming much? I haven't seen either of you two on for a while, but it doesn't mean you haven't been. It means I've been ignorant. You're ignorant. Now you're ignorant. So that was hosing, I think, wasn't it? Because I remember you talking about that the other day. And didn't Brock have a fucking double day session? Didn't he go through the night the other day? He seemed a bit wild in the chat the other day, and then he goes, "I've been drinking. I kept drinking." I don't know. I'm supposed to be seeing Brett in not in the not too distant future. Brownies. Oh, that's right. You were making them the other night, weren't you? I was seeing that. You ate too many projectile vomited. That's not good. Why did you eat so many? You know. Were you high? Were you high as well? Did you remain high whilst vomiting, or was it before you were high, or did you not get high because you vomited? So many questions. So many vom questions for Caitlin. Did you just forget that they were? I don't know. I would say forget they were weed related, but maybe not. I'm trying to find my power. Not invisibility, just meant for the laptop. There we go. Always fucking unplugs. But I think I've got the lighting reasonable here in this corner for now, but I will be in the other room too. Oh, you were fucking high as well. Day drank. Looking lovely to say, but he's happy and smiley. I haven't drank for 2 weeks and I guess about 19 days, 18, I don't fucking know, 2 and a bit weeks anyway. But I've got to start getting the 2 or 3 in Friday, unless I go to the pub, in which case it's on. All the booze Saturday, and then I've got to somehow fucking summon up the courage to travel to London and then through London and out the other side into fucking Surrey on Sunday, hungover, which I'm not looking forward to doing. You're already high, ate a brownie, and all was fine. An hour later, I ate another one. It's bad times. We only learn from the mistakes, though, right? Then it's one of those mistakes that you go, I know I shouldn't do this. Like before I came home from Brazil, I knew I shouldn't have that wine and all that beer, and my plan was to do a lot more. Thank fuck I didn't. And then the next day I fucking knew it. I knew it. Yeah, should only have had half. Double or quadruple what you should have had. Weren't you in the chat? Weren't you in Brett Broxing that night saying, telling everyone to be careful about milligrammage? And I know my limits because I only eat brownies because I started on brownies. And then you're shoving them in your face. Yeah, that's a mistake. My dog did the same as well. He got fucked up and he did it recently and went, "Oh, you can overdose on weed. But only if you eat too many edibles, you're fucking. If you eat 5 times the amount you're supposed to eat." So you're high for hours, then you're just tasting sick in your mouth. It's grim times. So it is Wednesday. So a week today, It'll be my last initial day in the city. Well, brownies are inedible though, right? Do you mean like manufactured, like gummies and shit? I saw some Reese's Pieces cookies. Was it Joey Diaz posted those today on Twitter? They're supposed to fuck you up. He said they take you to hell. So you're already high, and then you get on the brownies. Unbelievable. So I know if I end up going to see Mind Dog and whatnot, or this Jackie thing on that Saturday, I know I'm going to get dosed. I know that'll be a day. That'll be a night when I get dosed. And hilarity may ensue, or I may wake up dead and bummed on a beach. I'm an expert in 4 a.m. Not so much. Yeah. I mean, I will be day drinking next Thursday and Friday. I guarantee it, for reasons that you may see. You will see. Overall, I don't know. I don't. Sometimes it's all right, but I get too fucked up too early. But I'll have to power through next week, which is why I'm in training from Friday. Get that level up, and then in New York it'll be one night I'll get drunk, and the other two I'm just gonna have a couple, just to get the buzz, and then if I pop out to see Brett, we'll drink 100 beers in 2 days and kill each other, and then that'll be that. And then it might be a weekend back in New York area as well, so it's going to be a bit chaotic. But I need to pin Napo down this week, so I might even get him to come on Friday, and he can explain, or we can have a chat and just pin some kind of plan down. Because I don't want him coming over at night and all that stuff, because he's got a long way to come. He's 76 miles away, and he's got to get back, and he doesn't really follow me around if I'm trying to get on gigs and stuff, because it's a lot of waiting around, a lot of running around. It isn't going to be just going to do stuff. It will be like, I'm just waiting here for 2 hours. And waiting for people to message me back and all that kind of stuff. So that'll be boring. So I think we should meet for lunch and do a podcast. I think that's the plan. Can't do that more, obviously. Well, we live and we learn. Guys, I'm going to bail because I want to go and start organising some stuff for food. I've got a bit of organising to do today. It starts today, the organisation today, and it never does that early for the US, because I've only got tomorrow and Friday, because Saturday I'm going to be really busy and cooking Mexican food and getting set up for the Dusk Till Dawn thing. And then I'm just going to be drunk, and then I'll be in London all of a sudden. So the next day. So I've really only got tomorrow and Friday to make sure I've got everything organised. Even like double checking some flights and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, have a good evening. Don't get too fucked up. Chrissy, thanks for dropping in. Hope it's all good in Copenhagen. Kelly, don't get too drunk. Gaddafi, if you're still out there looking to be in an expat, get that passport and get over to Tenerife. And OGM, if you're still around, take it easy. And I'll keep an eye out for any of you streaming tonight, because I'll definitely be sticking some stuff on while I'm organising some shit. Oh, Dave Lister, you're in the house as well. How are you doing, sir? Saturday, 6 p.m. UK, 1 p.m. Eastern time, if you're about, and beyond. It'll be about 6 or 7 hours at least, starting on YouTube, then going to Twitch. So, yeah, that'll be a fun one. Don't forget my flight. It's from Gatwick. Thank you. Yes, that's another big one. In fact, I've been drilling that into my head the last few days. So at lunchtime on Sunday, I'm heading south, and then south and south and south. Sober to Saturday, yeah. I've been sober for fucking ages, so I'll probably end up getting drunk Friday, to be fair. So, what if I accidentally go to a Manchester pub on Friday? Who knows? All right, you goddamn pigs. Have a good time. Anyone else? Give us a feel bad vibe and all that stuff. Apart from that, yeah, I don't know. Have a nice Wednesday. Bye.